So, I would like to speak freely if I'm allowed to anymore. I'm traveling north, and I'm in Michigan, northern Michigan, traveling north, and just taking a nice little day trip, trying to get out of the city. I'm not going to tell you where I'm at, but as I drive through some of these little towns on a Saturday night at, it looks like it's 7:01 p.m., I drive by the restaurants, the bars, the campgrounds, the you name it, anything that has to do with being up north in northern Michigan, or even in the whole state of Michigan, no matter where you're at, okay? And I'm driving through these areas, and it's devastating to me. Devastating. I'm looking at these empty parking lots, and I'm looking at this. It's just like a nuclear bomb went off. There's nothing going on a beautiful day in northern Michigan. Nothing. 2 weeks before Memorial Day, nothing is going on. There's hardly any traffic, and it's breaking my heart. Governor Whitmer, what the fuck are you doing? There's nothing going on up here when it comes to your COVID-19, my queen, okay? Nothing. How many people have got COVID-19 up here? You are fucking killing these people. It's frustrating to me. Come on. You can't be serious what you're doing up here. The campgrounds all got these big signs in front of them, closed. All the restaurants closed. All the bars, takeout only, closed. You can't live on that shit up here. You are destroying the state based on your bullshit science that all these people died in Detroit, so everybody's gonna die in the whole state. Leave these fucking people alone, Queen Whitmer. Leave them alone. That's why they came up here, is to be left the fuck alone. And you're doing this to them? This is their livelihood. This isn't General Motors, who can shut down for a month and pick back up and lose, a couple million or $1 billion and then gain it back in 6 months. These are people who rely on people from down south to come up here and spend a simple little goddamn fucking $20 on a 12-pack of beer and some beef jerky, and you're doing this to them? What the fuck is wrong with you? Listen, your numbers don't make sense at all. You're power hungry. You're trying to make a name for yourself, and thank goodness for President Trump, who came out and said, I'm going to let the governors run their states, because now your true colors, governors from all the states, are showing. You can't govern at all. You suck at it. You're horrible at it. You're power hungry. And your power, you think you have the power, is killing these people's businesses up here. I literally want to cry when I drive down some of these roads. These back roads where, boom, all of a sudden there's a little bar restaurant. Not a fucking car in the parking lot. On a Saturday at 7:05 with 64 degrees and no clouds in the sky. Why? Because Detroit has COVID-19. Flint has COVID-19. Wherever the fuck you want to say he's got COVID-19. What did you do to prevent this from happening? You did nothing. Your restrictions are some of the most restrictive restrictions in the nation, okay? The most restrictive. And yet, if you look at your numbers, or the numbers, you're third or fourth in deaths. You're 7th in cases. So if your shit is fucking working, why aren't you lower? 3rd in deaths. You should be 47th in deaths if you come on the TV and say, oh, what we're doing's working. No, it's not working. It's all bullshit anyway, but I'm going by your numbers. How you think that this worked with your science. We have to trust science. Who the fuck pays a scientist anyway? Who pays a scientist? The government, right? What the fuck do you think they're going to say? It's bad, it's worse, it's getting worse. They know where their paycheck comes from. So, listen, Queen. You do not have the power to control us. At all. We the people have the power. You're in violation of the Constitution. There's this little piece of paper that came out a long time ago that you should probably fucking read. Maybe. But no, that doesn't fit your agenda. It doesn't fit your power in your monarchy, in your castle, wherever the fuck you're at with your freshly groomed dog and your freshly cut hair and whatever you got going on, and your golf course that's been open by your house for a long time when you closed everybody else's. Tired of this shit. You're wrong. Totally wrong. The fuck is wrong with you? These people up here are struggling, man. And I tell you what, they would take the chance of dying from COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that makes you headlines tomorrow, okay? They would take the chance of dying from that to keep feeding their families and keep their business alive. I know they would. But yet, no. Michigan, you keep doing the right things. Social distancing, wash your hands, wear the mask, but you don't do. Clean this, clean that, blah, 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 blah. Really? Who the fuck do you think you are? Come on. You're a loose fucking cannon is what you are. You need to go, and you will go. Trust me, you sealed your fucking fate 2 months ago. You could have done this a different way. Totally different way. You could have done this with common sense, not bullshit science. But you refused to do that because you like power. Gretchen, Big Gretch. You like the rap song too, don't you? Yeah, my kids like it. Oh, Big Gretch. Oh, yeah, my kids think it's funny they made a rap song about me. You know, who the fuck do you think you are? I mean, honestly, who do you think you are? You work for the people. You don't work for scientists. You don't work for bullshit doctors that you bring to your press conferences all the time. But which, by the way, I don't know if you realize this, Gretchen, Big Gretch. You come onto a press conference and say, oh, this virus does not discriminate. Nope, doesn't discriminate. Anybody can get it. And then 5 minutes later, you bring your doctor up there, who's African American, and then she says 33% of the African Americans in this state are dying from COVID-19. Really? You really think that these people that you don't have brainwashed? And trust me, I can tell you this. I work in retail and I see a lot of people and they all fucking don't like you. You really think they're falling for that shit? Why don't you and the doctor get together before the press conference and go, hey, this is what I'm going to say, and this is what you're going to say. You didn't do that because you got on there and said it doesn't discriminate, and then the doctor got on there and says it does discriminate. I mean, you can't be that fucking dumb. Really. I never went to college. I got out of high school. I went in the military. I got my degree in Desert Storm in the Persian Gulf. That's where I got my degree. But I happen to think that I might have a little bit common sense. You know, maybe you should use common sense over science, bullshit science sometimes, and try to figure out, you know, maybe this isn't the right thing to do. You don't give a fuck about these small businesses. Big Gretch. You could care less. They are dying up here. This fucking highway on a Saturday night at 7-Eleven is empty. There ain't a fucking car on it. Why? Why? I'll tell you why. Because of you, Big Gretch. This is why that there's not a car on this fucking highway on a Saturday evening. Because of you. Because of your bullshit. Because of your you're power hungry, and you want everybody to listen to the Queen and bow to the Queen. Lord Farquaad Whitmer. Lord Farquaad Whitmer is fucking everybody up north. And my heart hurts when I drive down these roads and I see what's going on. These people are not going to make it now because of you. You did this to them because you think that you know best. Didn't know you were a scientist. You happen to fucking think you are. You know more about science than anybody. According to you, and you're listening to your scientist. Oh, this is about science. You're listening to your scientist? Who the fuck are your scientists? Do they get a check from the state of Michigan? Do they get a check from the federal government? Anybody in their right fucking mind would say, hey, I'm going to make this last longer because I get paid more. You can't be that fucking dumb. You can't. And then you're taught, oh, she's going to run for vice president. Well, maybe Biden will pick her as the vice president. Joe Biden's dumb, period. All right? He's an idiot. He'd be even more of an idiot if he picked you, Big Gretch, as the vice president. Pretty simple, and I'll tell you why. Because if you look at the voting map when Big Gretch ran for governor against Bill Schuette, which was a horrible choice, by the way, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, so you look at the voting map. Under the electoral system, Big Gretch, you got your ass handed to you. And I bet you're smiling and grinning like you always do when you get up there when that election happened, because you got the pot vote and you got the popular vote in all the populated areas. Under an electoral system, the whole fucking state was red, Big Gretch. Red! So who in their right mind that's got half a brain cell would pick you as vice president of the United States when technically under that system, if you run for vice president, you didn't even win your own state. And it's going to be so awesome. I want Joe Biden or whoever the nominee is, because who knows what's going to happen to him. I want Joe Biden to pick you. I really do, because the people of Michigan up here are going to stand up, and you're going to lose your own fucking state. How sad is that going to be? How sad. You are horrible. You're a horrible woman. You're a horrible person in what you're doing to these people. And then the protesters. Oh, the more they protest, the more they're going to be locked down. Who the fuck do you think you are? You don't run this fucking state. The people run this state. The people voted you in by popular vote. Thank God. Because electoral vote, you'd have lost. You're thanking God, I mean, come on. Who the fuck do you think you are? You really think you have that much power? You ain't got shit. You don't have nothing. Because I can tell you right now, they gotta be careful. Be really careful. But most of the people in this state that I talk to, 99.999999999% want you out kicking and screaming. That's how bad you are. Thank you, Donald Trump, for exposing the power-hungry Big Gretch that she is. Thank you. and all the other governors in this country. Thank you. I'll get back to the numbers. Seventh in positive cases. Under your restrictions and your stay-at-home orders, my math is right. Shouldn't that be 43rd? Shouldn't we be 43rd?